Hey, you couldn't see it coming. You might have thought it, but you couldn't change it. Hey, it's not right or wrong. It's about trying, find the silver lining. Rain and fire, highs and lows, you name it. Cold and warmth, laughs and cries, you have it. The world goes by, and by the time it does, you miss it. If I got every word perfectly weighted on a thin piece of paper, would it make any difference? Would it change for the better if I wrote you a poem? If I posted a letter? Is it maybe because I never knew quite where I was, then suddenly you told me, baby, you're lost, but I am too, whatever the cost. just like to talk with you. You don't have to tell me anything that's new. I just wanna go out